Yeah, I'm tired.
I'm with you.
I was out late last night. Yeah. No, I have friends in town. I have other friends other than you, okay?
And here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special ToB Film Club. That's right, it's coming to you live, and we're going to be talking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, a true classic. A true classic. But before we get to that, let me introduce the co-hosts. We've got Jeremy Cozier.
Hello.
We've got Rachel Wilkinson.
Hi.
And you might be wondering, well, this is weird. I thought you guys were going to be doing Dr. Sleep because you guys missed that in November.
Nope.
And
No.
and the surprise, it's not. It's we're doing Christmas movie. We like to do this every year. We forgot about it until late. So this is kind of like we're kind of making up for lost time. We're still going to try to do Dr. Sleep. That's still the plan.
We'll get to it
at some point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a much funnier movie.
Timely movie.
A much more timely movie.
Yes.
Especially as we approach Christmas. This is being recorded on 21st, winter solstice, right? So it's appropriate. It's a movie
Or
we haven't.
Yule.
Have you seen this movie before, Rachel?
No, I have not. I watched it today for the first time. I've never seen any of the National Lampoon's movies.
Wait, not even.
None.
Not one.
Not one.
You've never
not
come
old
across
school
this movie at all.
I don't think so. There was one scene where I was like, okay, I kind of remember that, but everything else in it, I'm like, I've never seen it in my life.
Just skipped it every Christmas. Just
I guess
Jerry's just
I'm
laughing at it every
very
time someone tells him this. He's like, well, I don't understand. Animal House.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought you were being sarcastic when you were saying that, but yeah. I guess
No.
that is what it is.
No, I've never seen it. I'm more partial to A Christmas Story. That's my go-to one every year. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like low key not a Chevy Chase fan. I don't know.
Did you like Community when he was on?
I did. Yes, I
Yeah.
watched almost all of it. But
I think he's super good in Community because he's basically playing an old man Griswold at the end of that. Like,
yeah,
that's basically
fair.
what he's doing.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen a lot of his movies, so I don't know. Blame my parents, I guess.
He's a polarizing figure, I think, in Hollywood today. Like
Yeah, isn't he a bad person?
I don't know. He just makes enemies. It seems like.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna talk about that part because we're staying positive
fair.
here today. This is about the.
We're gonna keep it in 1989.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. A real Yule crack up, as the poster says. I don't know.
Is that when this movie came out?
Yes,
I
the
believe
year
so.
I was born. And
Okay,
Jeremy
I was
born.
literally not alive yet, so.
Yeah. Well, lucky you.
Mhm.
Get a little taste of the past.
Yeah.
It stars Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Juliette Lewis. Who else I'm missing? Oh, Randy Quaid, of course. But really, Chevy is the kind of the headliner here.
Mhm.
Before we get into it, guys, I want to set the stage because this movie it flips the script from the usual vacation movie. So if you've ever seen, Family Vacation or European Vacation, it's the Griswolds as a group like going and creating havoc elsewhere, right?
Okay.
This is they're in their home turf and the havoc's coming to them, or they're creating it with their family that's coming. And,
yeah, I was confused
because it's called.
Because it's not really a vacation.
I was waiting for them to go on a vacation, and it never happened. I was like, I'm sitting there, and I'm like halfway through the movie. I'm like, at what point do these guys go on a vacation? It just seems like
she's
it's
like, this
It only
movie's
has
bullshit.
That name because of the other movies, then.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense then.
To keep it in that that vein,
Yeah.
that
Um,
collection.
so they're leading up to Christmas. This is there's a line in the movie where one of Griswold's colleagues says, "You're the last true family man," which I laughed very hard at. But I want to know, what your guys is like Christmas, like lead up to Christmases were like as a kid, because I think this movie is like it's from from Chevy Chase's perspective, but like the two kids are there, right? You got the boy and the girl, so you got both sides of the whole thing, plus the mom. What does this because this for me represents kind of a lot of what Christmas was actually like around my house. Obviously, way more over the top in a lot of ways, but like there's the same energy, So did this like strike a chord with you guys in that same way? Rachel, I'll go to you since you watched it most recently.
Okay, I'm gonna say no. Some things yes, some things no. Like I get the whole like going to get a Christmas tree. I've never done the actual like go to the woods and get a
Right.
Christmas tree. But like yeah, there's like those like similar holiday traditions, but I have a pretty like relatively calm, quiet family. I've always been kind of low key
Good.
jealous of people who have like the ridiculous fun families that just get wasted and cause problems and fight with each other. I'm like, that sounds so entertaining to me, but I've never grown up with that. So, yeah, mine's always been pretty quiet. So, I don't have any like psycho stories like
Well,
that.
you're lucky
So,
you didn't have to go out into the woods to get a tree because your eyeballs might have
I
frozen.
feel like I'm missing out. Yeah. I feel like I'm
Or
missing
your
out though.
lips.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
lips and eyeballs.
I used to go to, like the Christmas tree store with my family, but
And you picked out a real Christmas tree. Was that part of the experience? The
yeah.
real Christmas tree?
Oh yeah. We always picked out a real tree. I think they have a fake one now at my parents' house, and I'm upset
It's
about it.
easier. I understand
But
that.
yeah,
But,
I get it.
but I still go get a real Christmas tree because I had the real Christmas tree growing up. So we have a real Christmas tree at
Oh,
the
that's nice.
tower here.
If I was allowed to, I would. We're not allowed to have them in my apartment building.
Because you'll burn the house down. You burn the
Yeah.
whole place down.
They don't
Yeah,
want you to burn the
that-
entire building down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fair.
That makes sense. There's a scene in this movie where the Christmas tree lights on fire, and all I could think of was, how did the whole house not light on fire?
Yeah. I know.
Because like if you've ever lit a Christmas tree on fire after it's dried out, I guess maybe because it wasn't dried out or something. Who knows? But it is like
Yeah.
it's crazy. You've never felt heat like that, like
Big
radiating off of something.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a true fireball.
That's why they burn people's houses down all the time, because they're like the worst.
Not anymore. I don't think Christmas trees are responsible for burning people's houses down all the time anymore.
Not as much with LED lights. It's much better.
Right.
No more
Yeah.
candlelights.
Nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, but hanging candles off a drying Christmas.
That's
like,
insanity.
Lanterns.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So Jeremy, what about you? How does the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation experience stack up for you versus real life?
Real life. I mean, it's definitely like for me like top 3 Christmas movies. So pretty much a staple. Like if I'm gonna watch a Christmas movie, like it's probably gonna be this movie or Home Alone or Christmas
Mhm.
Story. But yeah, there's tons of things in this movie that are kind of relatable if you have like a big family. Like there's like with the grandpas like just sleeping in front of everyone,
Yeah.
just snoring.
I love the scene
So,
where
yeah.
they all arrive, by the way, when they like all show up at the same time, and they play this like the most intense, like fastest music in the entire movie, and they're all just like people greeting each other, coats, grabbing coats,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then it's all done,
Chatter,
and then it's like, oh,
and
now
they're
what do we
talking
do?
about they're talking about their
Yeah.
their back issues and
Right.
all their issues that like they can finally share with one another.
Yeah.
They're just all
It's- it-
fighting. That's too, but
Yeah, well, that's the thing. No one gets and they kind of lead up to it by like saying like, we don't have to have everyone over, like, but there's this like driving force behind the whole movie where it's like, no. Clark Griswold, he's always dreamt of having a big family Christmas, right? So he's gonna have hell or high water, he's gonna have everybody over for it. Speaking of what you were saying, Jeremy, we have Sean Tennyson, friend of the show, in the chat, watching live on YouTube, saying, Vegas Vacation is his personal favorite, which I don't think I've ever even seen, if I'm being honest. It came out many years later, late 90s. But Christmas Vacation, a staple in our household every year. So I think because of the year this movie came out, it's probably like it's fallen out of a lot of families' rotations, right? It's also not
That's
a kids
fair.
movie, Like there's definitely that moment where he's like flirting with the
so
clerk or whatever.
ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
so ridiculous. And then he's like, I mean,
It's a bit nipply out.
it's
Yeah.
it's a bit nipply. It's so good. It's so funny. Like all the puns are good, but then you come back later and she's just like pulls her dress up. And you're like, what the hell is happening here?
I audibly went, okay, like what
Yeah.
during that scene.
Okay, yeah.
It's like that is so outlandish and would absolutely never happen. That pulled me straight out of the movie.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. That's the thing I think with this movie that's different than like other Christmas movies is that there is just true sight gags and like just gags that they do that are throwaway, right? They don't like
Yeah.
affect
Yeah.
the larger story, right?
over
They're
the
just
top.
they're just how wacky can we do this? And then like maybe they'll call
Mhm.
back to it later, which I actually like. There's that scene where he opens up the Christmas tree and he's covered in sap or whatever. And then in the next
Yeah.
scene, he's turning the pages and his hands keeps getting stuck to stuff. And like but they don't talk about that. That's just that's the callback to the previous joke. But
it's like an it's like an
Yeah.
over the top type thing that like even that scene there ends with her hair being stuck to his hand and him turning
And then
the
the
light off,
lamp.
and the lamp comes into the bed. Like,
Yeah.
that obviously wouldn't happen, but it's
No,
like an
exactly.
over the top thing, and you laugh about it and move on.
Well, it's
Yeah.
also that like how many times they smash the windows in this movie? Like when he
So many times. So
when
much
he
damage.
opens the tree.
How funny are the neighbors? Like this weird couple that
Right.
like,
Yeah.
they have no idea what's going on, but they just feel like they're being attacked.
they are being attacked. I mean, they're just trying to live their lives. I mean, they're kind of like supposed to be like this representation of like the yuppie, right? Of that
Right.
like of that era. And they just want to like that sound like I'm gonna kiss you all over, and you're like, ugh. Like it's like after you shower, of course. And then the windows, the lights turn on. And it's like this blinding, and then it just turns into Home Alone, where they're just falling down the stairs.
A lot of
Right,
Home Alone
yeah.
going on here.
Yeah.
There was. I love how they even just introduced the neighbors. It was just immediate hostility too.
Yeah.
Like he just
Oh,
the neighbor
yeah.
says to him like, "Oh, how are you gonna get that whole tree in your house?" And he just said, "Bend over." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, that's right. And then he says, "I wasn't talking to you."
Yeah,
Second
yeah.
lights.
It was
And
just
then he fires up the what is
the chainsaw,
or
yeah.
whatever, yeah, and then
Yeah.
just holds it up like a horror movie.
Right?
yeah.
It's-
I don't know if there's any like
Yeah.
backstory as to why these neighbors hate each other so much, but I just
Well, it's
was
because,
laughing
like,
at the immediate hostility.
from my perspective, like having neighbors, I guess twice. It's like sometimes you have like weird neighbors, or I don't know.
Mhm.
For my like, I haven't gotten like super well together with all my
For
neighbors.
sure.
I guess.
So yeah, it's just like it's kind of like the way to ground the movie a little bit, because it's like if you had this literally insane stuff happening, it's like you'd want to almost see what other people thought about
Oh,
the
for sure,
ridiculous
yeah.
shit that's going
Yeah.
on down the street.
Oh,
You know?
and there's no way he would have dug out that tree too. With, like the
Yeah, that's
massive-
they're like, oh, we didn't bring a saw, and it goes dum, and then
like,
it cuts
go.
back to it cuts back to the car, and it's just pulled out of the ground. Like it's like, what did you guys do? Did you drive the car in there? How does that even work? So like, it just you can't think about that stuff. Like it's the
No,
movie
it's
doesn't. It's
so
not asking you to
ridiculous.
care. It's just like how funny can we be in any given moment, right?
Did you laugh
Um,
at like the beginning when he's having like that truck is like speeding up to them and like messing with them?
Yeah.
He's just trying to like get his revenge and like
He
I don't
just
know, I
like
thought that
it,
was pretty funny.
these small petty moments that like.
Yeah.
And I that's why I think this like
That's-
it sums up. It's so close to reality for me, because it's like this. Here's this fucking like the quote unquote last true family man, right? And he just like
Mhm.
he's just constantly riding the border between regular everyday life and just completely snapping and being a psychopath.
Yeah.
So because like there's that scene. It just happened. I was just caught it out of the corner of my eye because I have it playing behind us. Of he's talking to all those lawyers as his boss walks by, and he's like, "Yeah, have Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas,"
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it like,
Oh,
and then it
yes,
turns
yes.
into like
Eat
eat a
shit.
dick.
Yeah.
you know.
No, that whole opening scene, it was an insane way to start a Christmas movie. I wasn't expecting it. I'm like, so this just starts off with like road rage and
And a
like
Fast and
almost
Furious
running.
2.
Yeah. I was just, I don't know. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, I think the movie does a very good job of setting up your expectations like immediately. Of course, there's that like
Yes.
there's that animated intro sequence where they have their own music that they made for this movie, which
Oh,
is
okay.
fine. Like
Yeah.
it's like say it's I don't know, it's like ding a ling a ling ling. like is the theme song. But then it's like showing like Santa Claus like basically be Clark Griswold and get like beat up, but then also beat up by. It's like very confusing because you like.
Oh, something just happened to our.
Oh,
I think we lost Jeremy.
It did say we lost Jeremy. Error initializing the session for recording. Recording to prevent audio loss.
It just said finished.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I think he's back.
I don't understand. That's the weird. I've never seen. It's just.
It just kicked out Jeremy and said, "You guys are done talking now."
Yeah, please stop. It said. Because you know what, we can't have anything nice here. That's the problem. Yeah. Hold on. How do we fix this? Gonna do new recording. Is there a new recording? Might lose data that is being currently processed. It says I wanna. It says one track 99% uploaded. So I don't know what that means, but we're gonna try. I'm gonna try new recording. It's gonna refresh the page. Okay. Sorry for the live listeners. A little technical difficulty.
Oh, I think I'm back. Oh, Jeremy's in the green room? No? Is he back?
No, it says he's back.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Got you now.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm going to start recording again. Okay. Sorry, what were we talking about? The animated intro?
Yes,
the animated intro is fine.
Yeah.
It's just weird, and then it's like, okay, you're over. That's over, and then you get to this. It starts in this car sequence, and I think that is supposed to kind of be much more alluding to the older movies where they would drive that station wagon around, you know.
Oh, okay.
And that was kind of their whole shtick, you know. There's a lot of car gags.
See, I'm missing the context, I guess, because I haven't seen the other ones.
Jeremy, did you get that? Did you like feel like that was like a callback to the other movies?
I'm actually not familiar with the other movies, but I remember the station wagon for sure. I just liked how like it was like a classic, like it kind of makes it like a timeless piece with that intro with like the Santa Claus doing this unique thing, like he's kind of just fumbling around and like it's almost like a Home Alone type thing where just like all these things are getting him kind of like the main character. And then it goes from this colorful, like great song to like this brown and like gross like road with like this huge cloud going by. But they're maintaining that spirit by singing the songs in the car and stuff and going for the tree.
Well, yeah. Also, it's just like he's so earnest about like it being like this like true Christmas like spirit, right? So he's singing the song, and then he's like they're singing it, and they're like. And to the daughter, you take it away, and it's just completely silent, and he just completely sets the tone for the whole movie. It's very good. I also like you're right, like this idea of like the brown kind of slushy type, and because some Christmas movies make like the snow out to be like this. Every time you see the outside, it's like beautiful, gorgeous, white, fluffy snow. Right.
Well,
this movie seems to do a little bit of both of that. Like it uses real snow and fake snow to like do a little bit of both. But when it wants to be gross, it can certainly be gross. Obviously, there's that scene where he's emptying the shitter.
Oh God, yes.
Shitter's full.
Yeah.
And he just wants to tell everybody.
Toxic light from the sewer.
Yeah. Well, then they set it up. He's like, "Oh, there's gonna be gas," and then they call it out later, and then it explodes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So okay, what else? So they starts with the tree situation, but it turns out the tree is super big, which I think is also very funny. So they get it back, doesn't fit. He has to cut it down, and then he has it like tied up and opens the tree, and it like I said, smashes all the windows again, which is so
for
good.
The first time.
Well, yeah, for the first time, but it's like I guess they repair them and then they get broken again.
Well, a shit ton of windows smashed later on when the SWAT.
Yeah. Like every window in the house gets broken.
That scene where they go over the top with the police is like I feel like I've seen it before in other movies. Like it's like maybe been someone's borrowed that idea from this or they borrowed it from somewhere else. But this idea of like 50 cops smashing in through like the residential home as they're like drinking eggnog inside is very, very good. Also, who plays his boss? Because I feel like he has a very recognizable voice. that Clark Senior. No, that's his dad. E.G. Marshall. Is it Art? What's his name? I'm looking at the IMDb here.
We'll never know.
They'll have like regular names. I think it's.
These regular people with regular names.
Yeah, I know. It's like, so you're like, I don't remember what his boss's name was, but anyway, I feel like he has like the same voice as like the boss from like Jetsons. You know, you remember the boss from Jetsons? You guys
no.
Never mind then. What about the fact that his job is to be a like food additive scientist or something?
Yeah. Oh, here I found it. His name is Frank Shirley, is the boss, and the actor is Brian Doyle Murray.
Brian Doyle Murray. Brian Doyle Murray. Why do I not see him in my cast list? Yeah. But anyway, I'll look this up. But yeah, he's a food additive scientist, right? And there's this whole bit where they're talking about like this new crunch coating that they've invented, and then his boss keeps getting his name wrong.
Oh, he's Bill Murray's brother.
Oh, I didn't know
that's
that.
probably why. He probably just sounds like Bill Murray.
That's not.
He's the older. He's the older brother of Bill Murray.
Can you give me a little bit of?
It says he's appeared
here?
in Caddyshack, Scrooge, Ghostbusters 2, Groundhog Day, and Razor's Edge.
Okay, maybe
Brian Doyle.
Too.
I don't know.
What do you want me to tell you? This is just what
there you
this
go.
Is just what I
That's
discovered.
the facts. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, any other favorite? Like, I guess, like I said, for me, this movie just feels. Did it do it again?
Yeah, it did.
What the hell? This is a new problem. Okay, I'm going to do a new recording again. I'm just going to keep doing this until it works.
You're going to have fun clipping these together later.
I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. I don't know if it's on my end or whose end it's on, if it's on any end.
It has Jeremy in the green room again.
Well, it's probably Jeremy's fault. You're right. You're right.
I never said that, for the record.
Oh, he's the Flying Dutchman from SpongeBob.
Oh,
that's where I recognize his voice from.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. And he also played President Grandpa on The Daily Show in 2017. He's had quite the illustrious career. Yeah, he's the mayor in Ghostbusters. That's also where I recognize him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does say he's in the green room. I don't know what that means.
Remember that happened one other time and it didn't work. We had to redo it again.
Don't tell me that. I don't need to hear that.
Don't you remember the last time Jeremy got stuck in the green room?
It's been. I don't remember yesterday. So
fair enough. Well, this has happened before.
Okay, I'll. Oh, he's leaving. He's gonna do the thing where he leaves and comes back, which is what I would have asked him to do anyway.
Yeah. What
an exciting live show we have for everyone today. Hey, Jeremy, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why this keeps happening. Can you hear us?
Well, I can hear you, but I can't say anything.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. It's our regular technical difficulties.
Yeah. Please. Hey, this wouldn't be an episode of the Tower Babble podcast if it wasn't if there wasn't some sort of technical difficulty of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I blame Julian.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sounds good.
Here's what I was saying. So for me, like I said before, what really comes home to roost is this true to life relationship between this father and the rest of the family, and like this oblivious nature to like the actual relationships happening around him, right? Like his wife, who is like doing all this work but gets like no recognition whatsoever. Like why she's with him makes no, like she's just constantly putting up with the worst shit. But they're really, they're cute together. And like these kids who reluctantly go along with it, but then if like push comes to shove, they'll also stick up for their dad. He's like, what do you mean? You did all this work, and then I don't know, and you didn't even help, and all this other stuff. So I just think it just like really captures this like hectic nature of life around Christmas, especially if you're hosting anything or if you're around like a family's house. You know, I remember just distinctly going to my grandparents' house and the smell of cigar being like thick in the air, right? So like this grandpa who's like, hey, pass me my stogie, you know, and like he just doesn't do anything. That's that's my grandpa, you know, or my grandma who can't hear anything. And he's like, at the go point, he's like, you wouldn't hear a truck going through an air horn factory or something like that. So,
oh man, I don't know who is it. Like, it's an auntie or like a great grandma that like just wraps stuff in her house and gives it to people for Christmas.
The cat.
That cracked me up.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
The grandmother with dementia. So like that's sad.
That reminds me.
She sung
yeah.
the national anthem when
right. Yeah.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff that reminds me of when you do. I don't know if you've ever done this, but we used to do it when I was a kid, and then we stopped doing it like later in life. But we used to do kind of like family gift exchanges with like my extended family, but it would be like almost like Secret Santa or like White Elephant, whatever you call it.
Yep.
But we just stopped doing it because then there just ended up being like really like weird stuff in there that no one wanted, and then it just got really uncomfortable because some people would buy really nice stuff and some people would just get really crappy stuff.
Yeah.
So then we were just like, we're not gonna do this anymore because.
Don't even get me started, Rachel. I don't want to bring the mood down here.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think the gift steal Christmas thing, like listen, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but it's the worst possible Christmas event you can absolutely host or do. It's anti-Christmas. Like, it goes against the spirit of all what Christmas is about, which is about giving like thoughtful gifts, because it's not about the gifts themselves, right? We all know this, right? I think
it's about like the thought and stuff behind.
Exactly.
But
so
how does the gift steal work though? Because if you put thought behind a gift, are you getting it for a specific person that they're supposed to?
Well, no, you can't, because it could end up with anybody. If you get something that's
don't you bring gifts that are just like it's not actually thoughtful for a person? It's just like a whatever.
Generic. Yeah.
I think that's why Jules hates it so much, because it's just kind of crap.
Because I don't know. I don't.
Oh, I think like the steal itself was the.
Well, the steal itself is all, that's also part of the problem. And don't even get it gets worse if you start like collaborating with other people to like rig the game, which I
feel like
I've never gone that deep.
The bad receiving end of the gift steal here.
What kind of gift steal things are you being in that people are collaborating and forming alliances?
I want to tell you that this happened to me this year. And I went into I swear to God,
got stolen from you.
So you know what gift got? Okay, this is a true story. I will not name names. Okay, this is a true story.
I can feel that it's true.
I went to a Christmas like steal event, and I don't know. There's probably like 15 of us or so. There's a couple couples. Each individual in the couple brought their own separate gift. Okay,
right.
So naturally, because I was just in Costa Rica, I got a penis-shaped bottle opener and a giant bottle of Corona to go along with it, because the spending limit was only $20.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Which is also extremely restrictive. I'll just put it out there. It's like, used to say you can't get anything for $1. I don't think you can get anything that isn't junk for less than $20 now.
Honestly, that's true.
So we go to this event, and we're all opening the gifts, and I don't know if you've ever done it. There's different ways to do it, but basically we were all given like a card out of a deck of cards, and when that card was pulled, then you got your chance to take a gift or steal a gift. But because everyone is so nice at this event, or most people, I thought, people were just picking up gifts off the table and not stealing from other people. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the host of the game, who was also playing the game, decided that they were going to shake things up, and then when they got called, they were going to start stealing stuff. Okay, so that started the initial stealing. But I had opened a gift. I went to pick up, I was like, I'll just open the biggest box. That will, I feel like that'll just relieve some tension, right? And I gotta say, going into this, I was very concerned. I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. I think, I'd expressed my concerns about like the whole nature of the game being like a problematic,
Uh-huh.
And so I go and I open a box, and I'll tell you what's inside. It's a salad spinner. I can't make this stuff up.
That's
and
awesome.
it's not nothing awesome about a salad spinner. And
right,
a salad
well-
spinner, some edibles, and
Nice.
and that's it, which is a weird combination.
That is a weird combination.
Yeah.
But I would like that.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
sounds
sure.
very
I mean,
civilized.
I don't need. I don't think anyone needs a salad spinner. This is my
No,
honest
that's fair.
It's not a
belief.
necessity, no.
no.
No, it's true.
It's like, what do you anyway? But it turns out that the host of the game had organized with her fiance to steal. She had given that gift. That was her contribution. Her plan
Mhm.
was to get that gift back because she needed a salad spinner.
So then she would be the most happy with that gift.
Oh my
Because then she
God.
just bought herself a gift. What? How is that at all Christmassy? What
That's
way is that?
super
What way
funny.
is that like a fun game?
It
Anyway,
sounds like you're
think-
really upset that she stole your salad spinner.
I
It's
didn't-
meant
I
to
didn't
for
even
a
care, but
joke, and it's not meant to be taken that seriously.
This is what here, but here's what happens though. You end up with weird stuff because I ended up with a flask that's like a bangle, like it has like an open middle, like circle thing, but it doesn't fit
Weird.
me.
Like a
because-
bracelet?
Like a bracelet, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
but
those.
it doesn't fit me, right?
It's
and,
probably
like,
meant
be at home-
for a
wrist
girl.
your wrist is too small.
Yeah, it just falls right off. And
You put it on your ankle then.
Yeah.
and I just put it up around my bicep, you know. And it like carries like maybe 3 ounces of liquid. It's like
Yeah.
it's a waste. It's honestly, it's not the present's fault. It's not even the gift giver's fault.
It's
Right?
definitely the gift giver's fault. at that
No,
point.
it's not. It's not. It's like it just
Just get a regular flask at that
the
point.
game inherently demands that you buy junk, and I have enough junk in my life. That's
Why my family
that's my
stopped
rant.
doing it.
Yeah.
Well, then you gotta. So the solution is to up it from 20.
Yeah,
no,
that is
no,
a better
it's
solution.
not that doesn't solve the problem. It just creates
Or
a
just
new one.
not do it.
I think if you're gonna
See-
do a Secret Santa, it has to be traditional Secret Santa.
Yeah, that's what my
And
siblings
that's
and I
the
do
only way to
now.
do it. Yeah.
Is we each, instead of us all having to, because we're all adults now, instead of us
Right.
all getting each other things, we just each pick one name of either it's
Yeah.
like either one of my brothers or I get one of their spouses, and that's
Right.
just easier and cheaper for everybody. And then you
Right.
get something actually like you still get something sweet, but then no one has to spend like a ton of money around Christmas and go bankrupt because there's so many of us. So yeah,
Well,
it just works
there's not
better.
that many of us at my family, so I still get a gift from my brother, sister, mom, and dad. But that's
Okay, yeah.
basically it.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend. But
Yeah,
We
as
do
soon
the
as
sa-
you-
we do the
yeah.
we do the same in my family too. And there's like I guess an online like app or website that like calibrates it and like does it all for you.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah. I think I've
Yeah,
used
and
one of
then
those
it, like,
before.
and then you can like link it, or it's automatically linked to like an Amazon
Wish
Oh,
list.
that's smart.
wish list, or you can add whatever you want on the wish list. But every year, it's always
Oh.
like people texting each other, like the other person
Yeah.
in the relationship, to update their list
Yeah.
so that their spouse can like buy them what they want.
We just
Right.
make my mom do it. We're like, she has to pick our names, and then we send her all of our Christmas lists, and she distributes them.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, yeah, a automated system would probably be better.
I've used that for a gift, a large Secret Santa in the past to like good results. Like they were happy with the gift that I got. I was happy with the gift that I got. Everyone was
Yeah.
but that's like at the end. That's really what you want. Everyone's happy.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
feels good for giving. People feel good for receiving, and everyone's happy. Instead, when you leave a gift steal, everyone leaves unhappy.
Yeah.
So, which just doesn't
Especially
defeats the
you.
purpose. Yeah.
It's like The Office, where one person goes all out, and Michael buys an iPod, and then he gets an oven mitt, and he's mad. So.
Yeah, exactly. And then that creates bitterness and resentment, which this movie, if we go back to the movie,
Yeah,
is
sorry.
very
Sidetracked.
good at like, I think it's certain places like showing kind of some of that bitterness
Oh,
that
yeah.
like creeps in.
There were some
Obviously
that-
with his job is one of
Yeah.
the examples.
There were some like super uncomfortable scenes in this movie though that like it was hard for me to watch. Like one of the ones where they're sitting around eating and it's just like lots of really loud crunching noises. And I couldn't. It made me so uncomfortable. I hated
But
it. I was like,
that was just-
why?
That was just playing on the joke of the turkey being.
Is that what
too
it? That's what
dry.
I assumed. But I
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah,
oh, I
that's what it was,
hate
yeah.
this.
But they just lingered. It's true. They did just linger on the sounds of the eating for
Yeah.
a while.
And then there's like
Dishes.
Jello with cat food in it, and I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
no, I thought it was olives.
Slime.
It looked like cat food to me, like cat treats on it.
Also, can some
Yeah, you're right.
what is a Jello of the Month club? That's what I
Yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah.
No,
Jelly of the Month Club.
Jelly of the Month club.
Yeah, who knows? Unless you get like jam every month, that sounds unbelievable. But I'm an old lady at heart,
Wait,
so
did you say unbelievable? You're like,
yeah.
sign me up if you
If I
got that
get
as your Christmas
someone
bonus.
as a Christmas bonus, no, that would be upsetting. But as just a regular gift, if someone got me like a jam subscription and I just got new jam sent to my house every month, that sounds great.
Well,
Yeah.
but he was also expecting like upwards of or
Yeah,
more
like
of
Several thousands
Yeah.
of
He said
dollars.
he put 7,500
Yeah, for
or
sure.
whatever for
Yeah,
for
so
the down
like
payment that doesn't even have.
No, of
that's
course, of
so
course.
funny. He's like, yeah, because that sets the stakes for the rest of the movie when you find that
Yeah.
out. And he's like,
Oh, of
Then right
course.
before
I
he
don't want.
opens up the bonus, like he
You
like,
just
tells
know.
them everything, like all the details of his account, and like
Yeah.
and his reaction after all that is so good. Like he's just like it's sinking in. He's starting to turn insane.
Well, his face
He
is
doesn't
just
want. He
like
doesn't let anybody leave. Like he refuses to let anybody leave.
like maybe we should just go. They're like, no, she's like, no, you can't go. I and like, and that, just the offhand comment where he's like, you know what? If I could just, if he was in front of me right now, and then his brother, sorry, his was it his cousin-in-law, Uncle Eddie, just takes off to go do it, and you're like, of course, if you're not like, if you've seen the movie before, you know what's gonna happen. But I do like the idea where it's like it's just like one cut of a scene where he's driving, and another one where he's pulling up or like he's leaving at some like rich person's house, and that's like basically it until he shows up later. And is this the description of the wife where he's like, it's just this giant man wearing a blue leisure suit. By the way, I feel like we should bring back leisure suits.
Absolutely.
That outfit Uncle Eddie's got rocking in throughout this movie. He's like Elvis.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Like I absolutely it's inherently hilarious.
I very much enjoyed that character specifically because it's like I feel like these Griswolds are already like pretty ridiculous people, and they're kind of like a little bit, you know, from me just watching this for the first time, like it's kind of lowbrow, like, you know what I mean? They're not like the fanciest people, but then to have he has family members that to them are like, whoa, like next level.
Yeah.
I was like just pulling up in a trailer and just saying they're going to be there for a whole month and unannounced. Yeah, it was.
See, like that's the kind of family stuff that like is like I think hits home. It's like,
yes,
I don't want these people here. You know, like and you know, blood is thicker than water and all that stuff, but that doesn't mean you have to like your family all the time. Well, I think
no,
it comes at like a momentous moment too, right? Like when the lights finally light up.
Yeah,
he goes through like kind of trials and tribulations through that whole experience.
Hallelujah.
I thought they were setting that up for like a electrocution joke. Like I thought he was going to staple the thing and electrocute himself, and I was very wrong. So
well, but the stuff with the ladder. The stuff with the ladder is very funny. He like falls backwards and there's a tree.
Yeah.
But the first thing that happens is the ladder like falls downwards, like it slides down.
Exactly.
The very first thing that happens. And then the stapler gun, they keep zooming in on it, and like the sound of it is just so loud, and like you just know he's gonna mess up.
But like it's just this innocuous where he just gets a little bit of his sleeve, but the whole sleeve rips off.
Yeah, right. The
and
entire
it's like
sleeve,
that's okay. Like that's just a funny gag to me. Like I like that doesn't have to make sense.
I have such a weird brain that like fixates on stupid things sometimes too. And I was just thinking about like how many staples are going to be in his roof and how long it's going to take. I'm like, it would take so long to like get all those staples out and to get all those lights down.
Well, he starts first thing in the morning. He doesn't finish until like in the middle of the night. And then even then he has to check all the bulbs individually.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is another thing that like felt like, though you don't really have to deal with that anymore, was that old like check all the bulbs.
Yeah.
You're like,
that's not
oh
a
man,
thing anymore. They fixed that.
I'm so glad that that's not the case. Like,
that's just stupid. And I get it. It is because of them starting fires. Like that's why it was like a fail safe on the light strings to not turn on, because it's like, oh yeah, if you have like one missing bulb or one not in the way, it can spark and burn your house down.
Yeah, I saw that there was a socket or a bulb missing, so there's an empty socket, and that string was actually in the water that was feeding the the
Oh,
tree. So
yeah.
I don't know what that means. Nothing burnt, nothing exploded. So I think
This
that's a
is
good
in your
sign.
own house?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, so
Well, I
you're
pulled it
trying to
out
burn your
now.
house down.
I pulled it out. I didn't leave it there.
Yeah.
Um, what else was I gonna say? I just okay. Yeah, I remember what I was gonna ask you guys. What do you think about like the basically the final like moment of the movie where the boss gets like admits that he messed up, right? And like there's this one line where Clark Griswold is like, he's like, listen, if you don't want to give bonuses, fine, but when people count on them as a part of their salary, it's like yada yada yada. What do you
Yeah.
guys think of that as like a concept? Because this movie's from 1989. I don't think I know very many people who get a Christmas bonus, including myself, who work for a corporate company.
Yeah, you go ahead, Jeremy.
I don't really know. I mean, I think I just see it as the boss kind of gets his like the Christmas miracle kind of happens to him or whatever. Like he comes to a realization, seeing all these people, seeing what Clark is trying to do, and just has a change of heart. Like I don't know what else to kind of read into it there.
I'm just wondering,
Yeah.
like for me, it's like I would love the idea of getting Christmas bonus, and like the whole joke here
Right.
is that like he's counting on it, like it's like a done deal, right? So much so that
Right.
he like overextends his credit on a pool because he can't wait like an extra couple of weeks. I don't like that's it doesn't matter. It's very and then he has a little like diorama of a pool in his office that he's like
Yeah.
stares at, which is
Yeah,
so
I don't
stupid because it's like what does that even mean? Like whatever.
I was gonna
That's
say, like,
funny.
I'm also not in an industry, obviously, that gives Christmas bonuses. So
Yeah.
it's not something I've ever been super familiar with. Like, I remember I used to like hoard my vacation pay when we worked at Tavern, and I would get that paid out to me right around Christmas.
Oh,
So I
that's
use
smart.
that as like as a
Your
sort
own
of like
little
my own little Christmas bonus, right? And go buy presents with it. But yeah, like I think that's more of a like an I don't maybe some corporate offices still do that, but
what I'm saying is I think we live in the worst timeline because they got rid of those. People used to get
yeah.
them, and now we don't anymore. We already make less money than our
Yeah.
parents did at our age. It's like, what do you get? Let's cut us a break. Corporate America
Right.
basically
I bet
got
they
away
still
with the same
exist.
stuff. Yeah,
I bet they
probably
still
for
exist
like
some places.
Wall Street like people and
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
It's
the
I
worst
think
people.
they're always meant to be like oh, if the company does really well, there's
Right.
going to be bonuses. And like, you always hear that it's always some kind of like storyline in other things
Mm-hmm.
about, oh, like
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting the Christmas bonus this year because the company didn't do as well, right? So yeah, but it is
Right.
very funny. It's the very typical kind of Scrooge boss, right?
Yeah.
That takes something away right around
Well,
Christmas
he
and
also gets his
then
name
has a
wrong
change of heart and
every
yeah.
single
Yeah,
time.
every scene.
It's so funny until the very end. He does get his name right at the very end. He's like, "This
I
is
like
Yeah.
when
Clark
Clark
Griswold
goes
and his
to
family."
visit him in his office and like he's all proud that he put a gift together for him and it's like wrapped in the same shape as
It's
all the
exact
other
same
Yeah.
gifts.
way.
It looked the same as all the
It's
other ones.
exactly
Look
the
over there with
same.
the others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh? What's that? And then he picks up the phone. He's like, "Get me somebody,"
Yeah,
and
anybody.
then get me someone while
Anybody.
I'm waiting for them, which is like, like it's so ridiculous. He's just so oblivious to like other people, which I think makes for a great comedic like lead in any of these types of
Yeah.
movies. It's like
Yeah.
they just have to be able to roll with the punches, right? How about when I don't want to make this just like a whole like what did you think about when this happened? But I
There's
love
so many moments.
I just
Yeah.
love the scene when he's going tobogganing. And-
That was ridiculous. Yeah.
well, it's just so funny. He's like rubbing it on. He's like, it's fat. It's like slippier than any surface. And it's like they use it in space, and he's
Yeah.
like putting it on, and everyone else is like, no, I think we're okay. It's fine. And it's like it's one thing. Like we've
Yeah.
all seen tobogganing jokes before, but like at the speed at which they show him fly down the hill, it's like the Flash, basically.
Yeah. And that's just part of the overtop
Yeah.
things they do all the
Yes.
time.
And that's the thing I was going to say. I feel like there's so many like parts in this movie where they just, if they weren't there, I never would have noticed. You know what I mean? Like it's like they're very takeaway jokes. Like they didn't need to be there. Like there's literally an entire monologue his cousin, I guess, is talking about his like a metal plate in his head, and
Oh,
now it's
right.
plastic, and
Right. Yeah.
he can't get hit it because it doesn't protect his brain. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, it's so good though because that's the kind of dumb shit your family tells you, and you're like,
Yeah,
I don't need to
Yeah.
know. I don't care.
It's so true.
You're like, it's like I don't trust the government. I want a piece of government plastic to protect my head. Like, okay,
It's like, okay,
I'm
that's
the-
why you can.
yeah.
Toboggan? Like, what the
Yeah, I love
hell?
when Eddie's like he's at the house and he's got like that turtleneck thing like underneath his white sweater, but it's not like it's just like a square piece. That's
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed that. And
It's
then
like
he's
it's
just
an
like
extension.
dunking his eggnog nonstop and like cracking nuts and like throwing the shells everywhere and just
Oh my god.
a complete mess.
It. Well, also there's that subplot about how they can't buy their kids
Oh
Christmas
yeah.
presents.
Right.
That's very sweet. That
It is, and he's like, we want to
Yeah.
come in and we want to get you guys something. We want to get something for the kids. And he's
And then
like,
he whips out
okay,
a
he pulls out a list.
Yeah.
Itemized, like it's alphabetical, and he's like, it's if there's anything left over, get yourself something nice.
Real nice.
Yeah.
And then he's like throwing huge bags of dog food and like just
Yeah.
I was like, there's like I was watching it with my girlfriend. She's like, it's like, how many bags of dog food does he need? And she hated the movie, by the way. I'll just say, she's like, he gets to the end, she's like, I hated that. I never want to watch that ever again.
Hot take. I
Yeah.
kind of agree with her.
I don't like, so for the record, like coming out of it, I thought I would laugh more. I still think it's very good, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a laugh a minute like I recall it being. I guess it's been a very long time since I've
I
seen
think
it
it's
originally.
a very different time frame of humor. Like that's just not. I guess what very slapstick humor. I guess you
Yeah,
would call
100%.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and had she never seen it before either?
No, this is her
Okay,
first time.
so she's in the same boat as me because watching this, I was kind of like, yeah, I could easily
Yeah,
never see
very
that movie
different lens.
again and not worry about it because it's not nostalgic. I think you need that nostalgia for it to still like love it.
Right. It's a movie of a different era. You just got to be
Yes,
in
yeah.
for that kind of thing. I'll just say, like, in terms of Christmas movies, I preferred this over. I just watched the Christmas Chronicles for the first time. The
Is
Netflix
that a newer
movie.
one?
No, it's from 2018, so I guess that's newer-ish.
Yeah,
And it sucks.
that's new in my boats.
It's brutal. And like I don't know what like and like and this is the thing that blows my mind, okay? There is like about 1 million Christmas movies being dropped on these streaming services like every other day.
Oh, there's
and
so many. Yeah.
They're just all like half of them are filmed here for some
Yeah,
reason.
all the Hallmark ones.
Yeah. And it's like
It's so cheap
You know,
to film here.
we all watch the same, we all watch the same Christmas movies over and over and over again. Like, what's the market, in your guys' opinion, for like these new Christmas movies? Like, is there any appeal to you about like a new Christmas movie that's like, ooh, what's the new Netflix Christmas movie? Which, by the way, might have some sort of like MCU style like joined universe of Christmas movie universe. Of
That's
some kind?
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I heard
absolutely
about.
insane.
That's what I heard about. So yeah.
Not unless it's something like like Love Actually. Like that's like a newer sort of Christmas
That's
movie.
not
That's very
new
good.
anymore. That's not
Well,
new. That movie came out in the
newer.
90s, didn't it? 2000
Did
and
it?
something?
Oh, maybe. See, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of newer.
Well, you're like, it's newer than that black and white movie I watch every
Yeah,
year.
it's newer than the old ones that I continue to watch. I did hear
2003. I don't
that
think
the
that's
new
considered new
Grinch
anymore.
movie is supposed to be very, very good.
The Benedict Cumberbatch one?
Yeah, I heard it's supposed to be
Yeah, but
really
like
good.
how much here's the thing. I don't have room in my like
See,
I don't
we
like
don't
to,
have
to
children, though.
three Grinch movies? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
different. if you
hear
have
a
kids.
lot of these, like a lot of the opinions I hear are from people who have kids and have watched these newer movies with their kids. So it's kind of like you get to see them growing up with their version of Christmas movies.
Sure.
So adults are watching them. They're like, okay, yeah, this one's pretty good. I think the Hallmark ones are just something to put on TV and like your grandma watches them. But
Well, yeah,
yeah.
that's
But I don't
true.
think anybody is really itching to see the newest shitty Hallmark movie. But unless you're doing it to play drinking games, which I've heard some very fun drinking games with those.
Well, I mean, yeah, that actually does sound fun.
Yeah.
Because like it's just gotta be. It's like because it's all been done before, right?
Yeah.
This is like I love this because it's like it's just so much wackier than a lot of Christmas movies. Like it's like what if
very
Dumb and
wackier,
Dumber was a
yes.
Christmas movie?
Yeah,
kind
it
of
very
like
much
how
is.
I feel about it, and that's amazing.
It doesn't have the same, like, it has a little bit of a storyline, but not really. Like, I'll be honest, I don't find that much really happens in this movie. That's
No,
like
nothing.
that's a story. Like,
Yeah,
They're
nothing
just hanging out.
happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
The plot really is just he wants to host and then
Yeah.
get this bonus to make a pool so that he can
Yeah.
have his family over for that.
Right.
I
But
was gonna
it's written
say,
by John Hughes, which is pretty legendary
That's true.
creator
oh, okay.
right there.
Did he write the other National Lampoon's movies?
Uh, I'm not sure, but he
I'm
did
looking
like
it
The
up.
Breakfast Club and Uncle Buck,
Oh,
Ferris
okay.
Bueller's
Yeah,
Day
yeah.
Off,
So
Trains,
he's
Planes,
very
and
like
Automobiles,
80s. Okay,
Sixteen
planes, trains,
Candles,
automobiles. Okay.
Yeah.
Home
Wow.
Alone. Yeah,
So yeah,
he's a '80s legend.
gotcha, yeah.
He's what they basically based the new Spider-Man movies off of. His
Yeah,
kind of
the
Oh,
director
tone and
okay.
style.
Yeah.
had those actors actually watch a bunch of John Hughes movies.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like he basically sounds like he was the pinnacle of 80s movies.
Well,
So,
yeah, he did. He followed
Breakfast
this up
Club.
with the next year with Home Alone. By the way, that came out the
oh,
following
okay.
year. So
And
yeah, he was on a kick here through the 80s. So
man,
starting, you could go back to Mr. Mom,
as if Home
16
Alone is that old.
Candles. He did write
I didn't
National.
realize. Yeah.
He did do National Lampoon's Vacation, which is the first one.
Huh.
So he came
I
back for that.
honestly, yeah, I did
Weird,
not
weird,
realize even Home Alone was that old.
Pretty in Pink and Weird Science. He wrote
Yeah,
those
it's
too.
just I mean,
It makes sense.
it's
Like
just nonstop bangers.
16 Candles,
basically.
a lot of those movies are very, very similar too, but
It's just and like there's a lot. I think even back to Planes, Trains, Automobiles, like some of those sight gags and stuff that they're doing there.
right.
Just this inherent like touching on this inherent dislike for other people around you.
Yeah.
It's like the like core feeling that he's trying to like get through here. He's like, we can all like. I think maybe even like if there's a lesson here, it's like about expectations, right? You can't, and even she even says it in the movie. His wife is like,
Right.
you build these things up in your head, and they can never live up to them, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I feel like that's a very like kind of stereotypical dad character of that time area is like the kind of the disgruntled dad who just wants this one thing to go right and no one cares and nothing's going right for him and his boss is a dick and his family doesn't care, right? So
yeah, sometimes
it's
Arnold
that very
Schwarzenegger plays that
typical.
character.
Yeah. It's that very typical like character that's
Right.
relatable at that time frame.
Yeah. It works for me, but again, like just going back to what we were saying before, it's not as funny as I remember, but that's okay because it's still funnier than almost every other Christmas movie. So
Yeah.
that automatically makes it a win. Any final thoughts here, guys? While I quickly see if I can grab any interesting tidbits from the trivia page on IMDb.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the only scene that I actually like think I have struck a memory from me of maybe seeing it before is like the squirrel jumping out of the tree and it being like an actual real squirrel that they had and it wasn't some kind of terrible CGI or like I don't know. I feel like in a lot of those movies, anytime there's animals, it's always just like a blurry, furry puppet that they use.
Yeah. Well, and then also like they kind of do they do some shortcuts, like obviously with the cat in the box where there's nothing in the box, but he like does like when it makes the sound,
yeah.
like this thing where it, like shakes the box around. It's
effect.
so funny.
Yeah.
And then of course the cat does explode.
He kills it, yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. And then by the way, the dog Snot, just this like throwaway little thing. Yeah, we call him Snot because he's got a sinus problem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So disgusting.
Mucus all over him.
It is disgusting, and it eats the garbage. Like if anything can go wrong, it does. Which is why I love it. So by the way, there's that great moment where he's describing his boss and he's calling him all these names, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm reading here from the IMDb page. It was rumored that Clark's rant about his boss, Mr. Shirley, was ad-libbed. This is somewhat true. However, what the audience doesn't see is that each cast member of the film facing Chevy had a sign hanging around their necks that had one word written on it. These were some of the adjectives Clark used to describe his boss. So I like that. They kind of did it like a teleprompter before teleprompters were like a thing you could really do.
Yeah, it did go on pretty
That's
long.
kinda cool.
Like, it was,
Yeah, it did.
It was pretty impressive, like that he got through. You could like hear every insult that he.
Oh wow!
was
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. Here's another fun tidbit: the Griswold house is the same house used in WandaVision. So from this last year, yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's really, yeah, that's super random.
There's also another callback to one of the original Vacation movies. So the shoes that cousin Eddie wears are the same ones that he gave Clark as a gift in the original Vacation. The old Dodge pickup that tailgated Clark and family in the opening scene of the movie was previously used as Kurt Russell's work truck in Overboard. These are dumb stuff. Near the end of the film, Rusty says, quote, "I told you we should have gone to Hawaii," unquote. In the first National Lampoon's Vacation in 1983, when asked where in the world he would like to go most, Rusty said Hawaii. So like, there's more callbacks to the originals. Anyway, I just I'm just thinking of this one moment where he's so pissed off and he has the chainsaw and he has that wobbly piece of the railing and he just cuts it off.
Yeah,
it's
what
like,
was
I
that
fixed
about?
it. He was just angry. He was just
'Cause that was
angry and he wanted
after-
to fix
That
it.
was after the bonus thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's so good.
Oh, another part that I really like is it's towards the beginning. He goes to the attic and like tries to hide gifts, but then gets locked up there.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And then he just has like he just finds these tapes and just kind of relives his nostalgic, his
Yeah.
Christmas past.
It refuels his like desire to have this like really big Christmas.
And then he gets
Mhm.
the lights finally lit up. Shortly
Yeah.
after that.
Well,
Which I think is brilliantly edited, like how they leave like just the way they cut it, like when he slow mos puts the plugs together and like the sparks
Yep.
fly.
Uh-huh.
I think it's pretty cleverly edited.
well,
Yeah.
it's just like that moment and the music is so good too. They use that kind of like like choir a couple
I
times.
think it's like
with
literally
the
like
tree.
the Hallelujah song.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then of course, like I said, what's going on with the neighbors is just next level funny. The
Margot and Todd.
is that the well, I did like they just that they're wearing that like tracksuit outfit at one point. And it's like the funniest clothes I've ever seen. Anyway, so that that basically sums it up. It's got like a lot of very funny moments. It's got a bit of heart to it. There's like when he finds that like missing gift that he'd left there, I guess, for Mother's
Yeah.
Day.
That
is
made me
very
crack
funny.
up because that's something my
Yeah.
family used to do is have to hide presents and just hide. Like everybody
Yep.
had their own like spot that they hid presents in, and we used to
Why
have
would
to
you
like
need to
even
hide them if it's wrapped though?
my brothers and I were super annoying about that. My mom used to have to like disguise our presents even under the tree because we would sit there and like pick them up and shake them and try and guess what they were. And
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
yeah.
and we
That is
got
annoying.
what they were too many times, and she would just be like, "Fuck you guys." So she would like put weights in boxes, like pieces of Lego, like wrapped it in like 10 different things to make it look like it was a different shape. Like she had to go
That's
all
funny.
out so that we couldn't figure out what our presents were because we were so annoying.
I just leave all the Christmas presents in a giant pile in my room until I'm ready to wrap them like the day before Christmas, basically.
I mean, yeah, I do that now, but
yeah. But and like so there's that touching. I think there's a little bit it's funny and also touching, and then there's also that great father son moment at the end, and like these nice moments throughout that are kind of like, oh yeah, it is still a Christmas movie, but ultimately it's mostly just there for the gags.
yeah.
Which is fine with me. So I guess the question is like, we don't have to decide now, but like, what's a logical like next Christmas movie to do for next year?
Oh, for next year?
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I did
Planning ahead here.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Elf in a million years. I know that's one that people like love exceptionally, like just way more than I've only seen it once. Like I don't know, Scrooge might be a fun one to do.
Yeah. Marcos is on my side here. I can see the chat in Discord saying that he also hides or disguises all his presents. He says, "I'll have the smallest thing in the world in a massive box with the random stuff inside to throw it off."
That's
See?
fair. Yeah,
Sometimes you
okay,
gotta do
Marcos. Good to
that.
see you, my friend of the show. Good to see you
Yeah.
there on the Discord. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I've done it. Here's the thing. I don't know if you guys have experienced this before, but have you accidentally just found your presents unwrapped before the holidays? Like, has that ever happened to you as a kid?
I don't think so. We never like really wanted to snoop. That was never like a snoopy thing. We
Mm.
always wanted to try and figure it out once they were already wrapped. Then it felt like fair game.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Because I have had that happen to me. I found it in my parents' closet my
Yeah.
gift.
Found
and it was
it,
like a week
Shouldn't
and a
have
half.
gone in there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went in there and I found it, and it's nothing but disappointment.
Yeah.
You're not excited to discover it.
No.
So
You are at
what did
first.
what did you do when you opened it in front of them?
I think they knew. But I played it.
You had to admit it.
I played it cool. No, I had to play it cool. You know,
Played it cool.
you got to play it cool like you didn't know. But I think
Like
they
you
knew.
didn't find it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, that sucks. So I'm looking at this Christmas movie list on IMDb, and I want to get your take on this. It says that Batman Returns is a Christmas movie.
That sounds great to me.
Does that count? What about Harry
It's-
Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone?
That's not a Christmas movie.
That movie came out the same year as, well, actually 2 years
No.
before.
This is
you
like
don't
the
think
fight
so? Okay.
about whether
The
Die
Die
Hard
Hard.
is a Christmas movie or not.
I coming back. I have flip flopped on this. Okay. My take is it is not.
It is.
What make in your okay? What makes
I
it a
have to watch
Christmas
it
movie in
again
your
to
opinion?
see it, yeah.
Because for me, it reminds me of Christmas because I always watch it around Christmas, and in the
That's not
movie,
that's
it is
not
Christmas.
that's a personal definition, I suppose. But
Yeah, but
I'm-
I'm sorry, when
Then
Netflix
any movie
specifically
you
puts it
can
back on
watch.
around Christmas, it is a Christmas movie.
that's because it's like a meme now. To like it's like
Yeah,
But like what I'm saying is just because it takes place over Christmas doesn't inherently make it a Christmas
No,
movie, in my
doesn't.
opinion.
it
Which-
doesn't. But
What I think Die Hard is just taking place around Christmas. It's not really
Yeah.
got like main Christmas themes or elements to make it a Christmas movie.
yeah, like
in
you
my
could take
opinion.
all the Christmas stuff out, and it would still be the same movie.
It'd be the same movie, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, Jeremy. What do
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think when people talk about Die Hard, Christmas doesn't really come up.
No,
No.
I just
it has to start with the argument. Is it a Christmas movie? And then people argue if it is or not. But if you're
Yeah.
talking about the movie, it's like never like Christmas isn't like the main part that you're talking
No.
about.
no,
Yeah.
it's not.
It's about the villain and like just the
Yeah.
action and whatnot.
And that's fine. And that's
like to be
because there's
devil's
so many
advocate.
because like every single like what's his name Shane Black movie would be a Christmas movie then. Like, and they're not, right? Like not
Mhm.
every Iron Man 3 is not a Christmas movie.
No, but wait,
You
why
know?
would the Batman one? Does the Batman one have?
I
Anything
guess
to do
it
with
must take
Christmas?
place over Christmas. I mean,
It just
I
takes place
Yeah.
over Christmas. It's
Yeah,
not a
so it's the
very
same.
good movie.
you
Yeah.
don't like Batman Returns?
It's just yeah, I don't know.
Danny
It's just not
DeVito
that good.
recently came out saying he wouldn't mind returning to the character. of
That would be
Penguin.
incredible. I would love that so much.
Anything is
probably gonna
possible
happen.
now.
Yeah.
What?
Everyone's
It-
coming back.
Everyone's coming back. If there is an obscure character in a comic book movie in the 1990s or early 2000s, they're gonna make an appearance in a new movie.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's
sometime
getting
soon.
his own Penguin spin-off show on HBO Max, so maybe he
What?
pops out there.
Right in a weird
The multiverse.
crossover
He'll come through a
first
portal.
episode. That's supposed to be the ground. Oh, that's so weird that Colin Farrell's getting his own show. As think of all the prosthetics he has to put on every time. That's gonna suck.
When did he play Penguin? Is what I need to know.
He hasn't
Oh.
not yet. He has not yet played him.
It's
Oh,
upcoming-
okay, okay.
Upcoming in March.
Yeah.
Got you. Because I'm like, am I missing something? Have I not seen a movie that he's the Penguin in? Because I thought there was
Well,
only
the
one
movie
so far.
actually would have came out by now. Would have came out.
Oh, I
earlier.
see. It's just.
Oh, I know.
been
Jeremy,
delayed.
don't even remind me.
Got you. Got you.
It's like another year away still.
No,
Yeah.
it's March.
Is it? Wait, it's March.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. It feels like a year away, is what it is really. Okay, fair enough. I'm excited. Obviously, what's next up on the docket? For those wondering, The Matrix. Technically, you can go
Ooh,
tomorrow
yeah.
to see it. There's some weird, the restrictions are odd right now, 50%
Yeah, I don't
capacity.
know.
So I think
going
that
on
they
with
had
that.
to refund people's tickets for the original showings and then like made more showings and stuff like that. Either way, reviews are out now. I would avoid Twitter
Mm-hmm.
to stay spoiler free. So we're gonna watch that. We're gonna try to review it, as soon as we can. So that's exciting. Then of course, Rachel, you've never been a part of this, but
No.
you're welcome to join. The annual ToB Awards. They're quite prestigious. So
What are they?
the ToBs.
Sorry.
Who?
Yeah. I don't know. Who's Toby and why does he have awards?
So it's the ToB Awards, ToB.
Oh,
or
Tower of
ToBs.
Babel Awards.
Yeah. I
Oh.
thought that was obvious. Again, it's very prestigious.
It was not. I thought there was something that I was unaware of, and it was a different awards ceremony.
You're thinking like the Tonys?
Yeah, I was like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it's like Yeah. We're gonna hand out some awards for, or actually,
Yeah.
we're gonna watch the live.
I assumed it was something having to do with like comic books. I'm like, is this like a comic book
No,
award? I don't
think
know.
what are the comic book awards? They're called something else.
Okay, so they do
The
exist.
Asners, something like that. Anyway,
Okay, it's
The Asners.
it's definitely not the ass nerds.
Not Asners, but it's something like that.
Wow.
Asners, not
Yeah.
Asners.
The
Oh, okay.
Asners. The
It's
Ass Nerds Award.
Yeah.
the Asner
Sounds
Awards.
right.
That's right. But anyway, no, it's where we talk about our favorite things from the last year. So
I'll
start
leave that up
thinking
to
about
you guys.
Start thinking. Well, no. We each have to come with our own list.
Oh, okay.
So
But
you got-
sometimes you
you-
can make your list up on the spot. Sometimes you don't have to fill it all the way out. Sometimes
I'm-
you might not even have something for a particular list, but they're prestigious anyways.
I might have to listen to something from previous and a previous year's one to understand the context.
Sometimes you
Well,
might
it's
never
just
have a
like,
list prepared.
You would just say, what are your top 3 movies of the year? And then you
Oh,
would-
I see. I thought you meant about
Top-
just like Tower of Babel content wise. I'm like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Give
yeah,
Julian.
it's not
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
We're
I'm not
not-
giving
we're not-
Julian any awards.
We're not patting ourselves on the back. For,
Yeah.
Okay, best
yeah.
host.
Best host,
Who's
yeah.
it gonna be?
We
Who's
try
it
to
gonna
forget
be?
We try to forget every recording as soon as it's over with and just try
Yeah.
to do better. the
Yeah,
next
that's
one.
right. We've literally learned nothing from the first time we recorded a podcast till today. Like 8 years later or whatever it is. So
It's just to kill time.
it's really just an
Yeah.
excuse to talk about our favorite stuff. And so I will create a Google Doc, a little behind the peek behind the curtain, as it were.
Cool.
So I'll share that with you. Jeremy's never
Sure.
filled it out. So
Okay.
if you don't fill it out, then it'll just be me, and that'll be sad. So so I hope you do. Anyway, so just to look forward to that. We've certainly done it in the past where we've tried to release it for Christmas Day. That's not going to work out this year.
No.
Marcos just in the chat said best host award goes to Julian's inside scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I do
Are
wear
you
a
wearing
scarf
it right
inside.
now?
I'm not.
Okay.
It's too warm. I've got a hat. I'm wearing a Christmas hat today, a Santa hat.
A Santa hat. Okay.
Yeah. What else would you describe a Christmas hat? Like, how else would you describe it?
Well, why didn't I didn't know because I would have just said Santa hat, but.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I made a mistake.
You're making it
I was
so
actually-
complicated.
I was thinking like the elf hat that they wear in A Christmas Story that like curls forward and has like a
Right.
Yes, yeah, there
bell
are.
on it.
That's true. See.
Or
An
what
elf
about
hat could
those?
also be a Christmas hat.
What about those little things that two people you pull on each side and inside's a little crown? So the
Like a
person who
Christmas
opens it.
cracker?
That's like is that what that's called?
Yeah, Christmas
Yes.
cracker. Yeah.
Okay. So that
So a
that's what
paper crown.
I'm not wearing that,
Paper
but that's
crown. Oh.
the paper crown, Christmas hat. Anyway, so stay tuned for that. We're not like I said, we're not going to be able to get that out for Christmas Day because we have the Matrix stuff we need to record as well. And then
Do it for the
and
new
then we'll look
year,
to do the
maybe.
ToBs. Yeah, we're going to try to get it out for early in the new year. And this is another thing I was talking about this with Jeremy. It doesn't make sense to review your favorite movies before the movie season is over. There's still,
Yeah,
what
that's true.
because we'd recorded it in time for Christmas Day, we probably wouldn't be able to include The Matrix on there
Yeah.
if it makes the cut, right? So anyway, just something to think about. This is why I use IMDb, or not IMDb, but what the heck's it called? That what's a cat? That's social media for movie people. Letterboxd.
Yes.
And so I can keep track of the movies I watch throughout the year because otherwise I'll forget which movies I've seen. So
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
yeah. So I
And
would
then we have,
recommend.
Book of
And-
Boba
but-
Fett maybe in the new year as well, or before the new
yeah,
year.
I guess that's technically before the 29th. I don't think
Mhm.
it'll make the cut. I don't
We
think
could
it'll-
try. We could try and
Right.
get one out
We'll
real quick. I don't know.
We'll squeeze. I mean, I don't know. It's like only one episode. It wouldn't be fair to include anyway. But it's
Yeah,
this is the
fair.
problem. It's
Oh
these
no, I
ones
don't
that-
mean in the ToBs. I just mean in the
right,
schedule.
Of course, right. Oh, yeah. That's of
In
course
the
because we
podcast
still have
schedule in general.
we have
yeah.
some small screen Star Wars to do
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
Right, of course. How foolish of me, Jeremy. Are you
How
gonna be
dare
watching a Book of Boba Fett?
I believe so.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you should.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
come talk
you
about
should.
it with us.
Yeah, it's fun. It's we somehow record for twice the length of the episode, but that's just normal.
That's
That's just
you.
normal. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's just so many tidbits, you know?
I know. Yeah. We get excited. We
Yeah.
go off track too.
Yeah, just like we have in this episode. But
yes.
because
I
it's
feel like it's my fault.
it's a Christmas episode. It's about just hanging out, you know, spending time with you guys and the listeners, and just having a gay old time.
Yeah, chatting with your friends.
Yeah, the I didn't have the Yule log on. Maybe that's what I should have put on behind me. The Yule log. You guys users of the Yule log channel? You guys partake?
I don't have cable.
Well, Netflix YouTube and Netflix both have. Netflix used to have a Yuletide channel. I know YouTube certainly does.
Well, my answer is no.
It's still no. Okay, fair enough. I highly recommend it. It's actually quite cozy. Yeah. Anywho, I think we can wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Thank you for everyone for supporting the show. Normally, our film clubs are exclusive to the Patreon, and you can find that at patreon.com/TowerBabblecast, where you can find a whole backlog of movies we reviewed, including previous Christmas episodes that we've done, and other favorites of mine. I think Days of Thunder comes to mind as a particularly great behind-the-scenes, fun film club episode. I think that was a really good one. Our very first one, which was Jurassic Park. I wouldn't listen to that one. Skip that one. But other ones, for sure. And really, it's just a chance to enjoy, film as a group. So thank you for supporting us if you've done so, because this will be going out live to everybody. And for those who are a Patreon subscriber, look for another one of these, hopefully sometime very soon, as we look to actually fulfill our promise on Dr. Sleep. And maybe do like a Nightmare Before Christmas type situation where we have Christmas and then we follow it up quickly with something scary. So that's the plan. Follow us on Twitter at TowerBabblecast, Facebook.com/TowerBabblecast, and head over to the website towerbabble.ca to find everything that we do. We will talk to you very soon. Have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, a happy Hanukkah. All the ones that a Merry Festivus for those,
Festivus
for the rest of us, and all that kind of stuff. We will be back quite soon. Take care.